It's almost Dragonflight release, baby. You start to map out how you'll ask your boss for a few days off. You've got your monster cans stacked up, Doritos to the side, and Taco Bell getting lukewarm as you await the login screen in all of its glory. You love the only thing that matters in this game, PvP. You're excited to crush it and stack bodies while ascending to new heights and ensuring your spot on the PvP ladder. Solo Shuffle is out and it's time to ride. MMR is so inflated, participation is extremely high, so much so that every and anyone can achieve greatness if they simply queue and press buttons in an even slightly strategic way. Euphoria highs are ramping like a drug you can't seem to get enough of. Even when you lose, there's a rush of being able to call out your teammates for being utter garbage, and the feeling you get from knowing that you were better and did nothing wrong to lose that match is exactly what keeps you pushing forward. You aren't even phased, so you run it back. You climb to new heights, hitting 3K for the first time and becoming top 50 in your class in the entire country. You now carry a feeling of godlike energy that can never be taken away from you. The new game mode is thriving. Everyone is climbing and having fun, but wait! Reality strikes and you decide to hit back to the only thing that truly matters on paper. 3v3 arena, baby. You go into the ever so lovely LFR system. You know, a system that's been broken for years when other games have much better tactics of matchmaking. But you press on. You end up finding someone who says they're 2500 experience and another who says they're 2800. But what does that really mean? On paper, the teammate who's 2800 is surely better than the player who's 2500, right? Well, let's check. Player 2500 gets his experience during BFA, while player 2800 gets his during Shadowlands. You know, Shadowlands being one of the most inflated glad expansions in history. But are you to take this Shadowlands glad seriously? Is it even real? Well, of course it's real. But what does it mean? These numbers are arbitrary. Player 2500 in BFA could actually be considered the exact same player 2800 is who got his in Shadowlands. You see, the numbers themselves don't mean anything because we're not talking about actual rank. This is a core problem, but we'll get back to that. You press on to push for Dragonflight Season 1 with these players, all being high experience, including yourself. You're surely to snag 2300 minimum and beyond, no? Wrong. You all managed to snag 2200. You're hard stuck. Are you washed? Are you not as good as you thought you were? Did you get carried the previous seasons you've had success in? The answer is none of the above. You're the same player with the same experience you once had. So what does that lead you to do? You get discouraged. You stop playing. You almost want to quit altogether. Move on to other games. You know, Call of Duty, a real man's game. You never look back. You officially become a 2200 player in Dragonflight Season 1. On paper at that moment, it sounds horrible in comparison to what you always did before. However, in actuality, there are only 200 players in that moment that have even achieved 2400 in the world. This makes you, by design, a top player on the ladder by default, but you wouldn't know it by looking at your current rating that you have, because your rank is something completely different. You see, humans by nature, we want progression. We want to feel accomplished in what we set out to do and the time that we put the effort into, especially video games. So when you're sitting at 2200 rating from a player that you consider to be much better than this, you feel nothing. You feel as if you've wasted your time PvPing the entire season. You feel as if you aren't good anymore. So what does that lead you to do? You quit the game. But the game isn't showing you your rank in the country, on the ladder, or in the world. You're clouded by an arbitrary number that virtually means nothing. So, onward to Season 2 we press, right? MMR is so deflated by design that people in Solo Shuffle can't even achieve 2100 at the beginning of the season. The 3v3 ladder is down and diluted so bad that 1900 is actually the new 2300 for most people. You start questioning who you're playing with. You're asking people what expansion they got their experience in, and in what timeline in that expansion did they get it. Because let's not forget, Climbing the ladder in the beginning of any season is so much harder than in the end. And let's be real, everyone waits until the end. We keep having to make references, like 2100 in Dragonflight Season 1 was the new 2500 in comparison to previous rankings. So where does that leave you? On paper, you're a 2100 player, but are you really? I believe we have an outdated system. This includes a reward system, but that's for a later topic. Here's how we fix the MMR outdated system today. We create a new ranking system based off of percentage or some other concept, where the ranking is definitive. We create all new ranking systems such as bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, etc. Like all the other actual thriving games out there. We show your rank versus your CR, and we add new quality of life enhancements, such as how many games you need to win in order to hit the new rank, defined by a progress bar similar to that of how the honor level system works now. The bar increases when you win and decreases when you lose. However, you always know how many games left to win in order to hit the new rank. This creates a chase, if you will, that you can visually see, and it never gets misconstrued. Your rank is then defined by a win progression that is always the same requirement. So when someone claims that they're a diamond player, for example, you know with certainty that they needed a very specific percentage of wins and progression in order to get there, and it was never inflated or falsified by this design we have now. So now, claiming to be a diamond player never needs to be questioned. Players can visually see the chase and feel as though they are actually climbing. They never need to question if they're still good at the game, and people can play the entire season versus towards the end of it. The MMR in our current rating system needs to die.